type of challenge can we create in shallenge? Okay, today we are going to discuss about the different type of challenge that we can create. Let's start by creating one challenge. So we go over here, we press this button, here is the form for the challenge. Now let's give a name, my challenge 1. My challenge 1. Okay. Now let's see something like that. Let's not put anything inside this challenge. If I save the challenge by pressing this one, I create a personal visible challenge. What is a personal visible challenge? Personal means that just us we can put data. Visible means that other people can see the challenge and can see the data that we collect with this challenge. So by default a challenge is a personal visible challenge. If you press this button over here, we save the challenge personal and visible. Personal means only we can add data. Visible means everyone can see this data. If I change this option here from visible to private and then I save this one, I'm going to create a personal private challenge. That means personal that only me can put inside, only I can put inside some data, and private means that just me can see the data, not other people. So here we can transform our challenge visible, everyone can see it, or private, only me can see that. That's really important. So personal challenge can be private or visible. We can change this status when we want. We can change that when we create the challenge or after we create the challenge. We can go to update the challenge and change that. Let's do an example like this one. For example, if I open an old challenge that I've created, I have this challenge here, exercise. We have this stuff visible. If I change in private and then I save, the challenge become private and just me can see this challenge and the data. The moment is visible, so everyone can see the data. So this is a challenge that is personal and visible. So we have a personal challenge and visible, personal challenge and private. Okay. Now let's go over here. Let's create another challenge. My public challenge. Public challenge. To create a public challenge, you don't save the challenge over here, because with this button you create a personal challenge. But you press this button over here, save as public. When you press the button save as public, you have this option. You can add a start date and an end date. Why we have this option? Because we can create a challenge for one particular period. If we don't put anything, it means that the challenge is always valid. People will be able to add data to this challenge forever. But if you put a start date or an end date, that means that we want that this challenge be valid only in one particular period. We can just put the start date, or maybe just the end date, or maybe both of them. Then once we have decided if we want to put inside, we want to put a limit to this challenge, we press this button here and we save the challenge as public. So let's say a public challenge. Let's say public challenge 1. Okay, at this point I save button over here. I press this one. Make this challenge public. Yes. Okay. The challenge has been saved as public. Now let's go to see our challenge over here. I click here. I click the group, and here I don't have my public challenge. Why? Because when we create a challenge, a public challenge, that is not anymore our challenge. It's a challenge that belongs to the public. Now, To see our public challenge, we have to click the yellow button over here, and now we click this button here. We click this button here and my public challenges. And here we have this public challenge number 1. Here I've created 2 challenges, the challenge of November and this one. I click this button here and I have this option here. This is a public challenge. I can send this challenge to a friend of mine if I want to challenge this person, or with this button I can adopt this challenge. That means I want to start to collect data on this challenge, because at the moment I cannot collect data, because if I go over here, the button to collect data, the option that I have is just this challenge here, that is a personal challenge. Just me can put data inside that challenge. If I go over here on my public challenge, I open this one and I click this button, means I want to join this challenge. Join this challenge? Yes. Okay. When you join the challenge, the button disappears, because it means you cannot join twice the challenge. You already joined that challenge. Now, let's see what happened now. If you go over here, and we click this button, we have now my challenge here. And I can start to put inside data. Okay, there is no data here to collect because I did not add any point at all. But that is very interesting. So remember, this is a personal challenge. A personal challenge has this color, and this is a public challenge. It's a challenge that has been created by someone. In this case, it has been created by me, and it's a challenge that I cannot modify. Once the challenge has been saved as public, it cannot be modified. The nice thing is that other people can get the challenge and can join that challenge. In this way, it becomes very easy for people to compare their own results. So you can create a challenge, you can make the challenge public, and then you can challenge your friends, and then they start to collect the data, and then you can compare the data of those people. Okay, this is how you create a public challenge. So remember, to create a public challenge, another thing, sorry, I forgot to tell you this one. You can also make a copy. For example, suppose that we have this personal challenge, and we want to make a public challenge that is very similar to this one. What we can do is to save as public, and by pressing this button, we will create a copy of this as public. So other people will be able to use that challenge and to start to collect data. Remember one important thing, that once a challenge has been made public, the challenge cannot be modified. It cannot modify. So before saving as public, you have to check that your challenge is perfect, that does not have mistakes. If you recognize that you made a mistake, the only thing you can do is to try to delete the challenge. To delete a challenge, you go on my challenge, you click over here, and then you press this button. But this button will work only if the challenge has not been adopted by someone. For example, this challenge has been adopted by me. So if I click over here, do you really want to delete challenge? Yes. The system tells me challenge cannot be deleted. Some user, one person, have adopted it. So when you create a challenge and you make the challenge public, the challenge cannot be modified anymore. The only thing you can try to do is to delete the challenge at one condition. A public challenge can be deleted by the owner only if no one has joined the challenge. If just one person has joined the challenge, it's not possible to delete the challenge. Okay, and that's it. In case you want to detach, here, let's click over here. We can see over here that let's click. We go here to see our public challenge. We click the yellow button, then we go over here, we click this button here, and here we have 3 options. My public challenges, that means the challenge challenges that I have created. Adopted expired challenge, that means the challenge that I joined, but they are expired because someone put inside some end date and they now are not anymore valid. That means I cannot put data inside. And at the end I have active challenge. The active challenge are a challenge that I can put data inside. If I want to not to collect data anymore and I want to delete everything, I have to press this button over here. I press detach this challenge, all record will be deleted. I say yes, I want to detach the challenge. That's it, the challenge has been detached. So now I can try to, let's do some reload again. I can try to delete this challenge because no one has adopted the challenge. So I click over here. Do you really want to delete this challenge? Yes. Okay, the challenge has been deleted because no one have joined the challenge. So when you create a public challenge, it's a challenge that you will not be able to modify anymore. The only thing you can do is to delete the challenge if no one has adopted the challenge. If someone has adopted the challenge, there is no way for you to modify the challenge. So it's really important that you check properly your challenge before you save as a public challenge. That's it for today.